Fusion, for example, nuclear fusion has taken a lot longer to bring about than we hoped. Then you need to build the applications, get the value chain in place. You often need to get the network supportive of you. For example, before you have electric cars, you need to get people in the business of car battery charging stations. Before you have smartphones, you need to build application stores, which none of the old companies were able to do, but Apple did very well. There's the legal framework, which can slow you down because the legal framework is often captured by the existing industry. For its own reasons, it might slow things down, and the public prevailing mindset may be against change as well. And then, as I said, you might be disrupted by new technology which undoes all of your visions and projections. So it is hard to predict technological progress, and it's hard, similarly, to predict how fast artificial intelligence is going to take to reach these new levels which I spoke about in the beginning. But despite all that, I think there is a possibility that artificial intelligence will grow more quickly, that it will go through this slow period and will now accelerate more fastly. I see 5 driving forces, some of which I've mentioned already. There is the possibility that hardware is going to get better even faster than Moore's Law. Intel have 18 different technologies they are plotting inside as to how they can keep Moore's Law to course. GPUs are improving even faster than CPUs. Technology operating on the cloud can go faster and improvement than Moore's Law. And of course there's the possibility of quantum computing, which might accelerate some aspects of AI even faster. We don't know when this is going to happen. It's one of the big unknowns, but it'd be hard to rule it out. Even more potentially disruptive than improvements in hardware are the improvements in software. And we shouldn't just look at the hardware as the cause of change. We should look at the way in which, for example, chess has got better in computers, not just because hardware is improved, but because of the software algorithms. And at least half of the improvements in chess computers are due to software. And sometimes you just get a brilliant piece of mathematical breakthrough, like the unexpected proof of Fermat's last theorem, which happened after hundreds of years of people trying, and you just get a breakthrough. I do think we're on the point of such a breakthrough in AI with something called deep learning, and which we call the master algorithm, which I'll talk about in a moment, because I think is on the point of changing our AI capability more radically than most people expect. We get learning from studying the human brain. The nanotechnology isn't just making computers go faster, it's giving us better senses. We're understanding more about the human brain in the last 20 years than we've done in 2,000 years beforehand, and we can understand more in the next 5 years than in the last 20 years. We can take some learnings from the human brain and put it into our feedback cycles for improving AI. And there are more and more people studying this than before. This AI course taught by Stanford, 160,000 people enrolled, of whom lots fell out, but 23,000 people finished. We have more and more people who are sort of semi-retired learning AI, people who can't get work and are learning AI. More and more components are ready for reuse. More and more triggers for AI development because there's malware and security which is generating improvements in artificial intelligence to more reliably detect spam and lots of others. So there are more people, and in fact there are smarter people. Smarter people, not just because we're better educated, but because some of us are even on drugs, which make us smarter. Maybe not today, but within 5 years these drugs will be making us cleverer. And then there's the motivation question, which I touched on already. That when society sees a possibility and says, oh my goodness, this is really possible, let's all push and shove. Sometimes you get that effect in war, sometimes you have it with a sort of Sputnik moment. Sputnik was the satellite that the USSR launched in the late 1950s, which made so many people in America say, oh my goodness, we've got to stop all this stupid kind of Bible study, which we're doing too much of, and denying evolution, denying Darwinism. We've got to have people studying science much more fully than before, and soon America did catch up. And so you might not just get smarter people, you might get more motivated people. Now I'm going to show you a Sputnik moment. You might have seen this at this conference yesterday, I don't know. This, I think, is a Sputnik moment. You seen this before? It's not what's in the photograph, it's what a computer said about this. The computer said, this is a group of young people playing frisbee. And the developers almost fell off their seats at how accurate that computer vision was. The same computer looked at this and said, a person riding a motorcycle on a dirt road. Fantastic kind of breakthrough. And this is, according to that same computer, a herd of elephants walking across a dry grass field. Now, it doesn't get everything right, but we've had rapid breakthroughs in deep learning, which in turn have fed to improvements in computer vision. And we're now entering a new phase of artificial intelligence, as I've said. The first machines were the Industrial Revolution. They replaced muscular effort, they produced motion, they manipulated energy. And that changed the world. We've had a kind of the first computer age, which has changed the world because machines replaced human calculations, they manipulated numbers, they manipulated information. They had algorithms put in and manipulated information, but we're now seeing, and that's caused this beautiful computer vision, we're now seeing machines replacing human creative effort for the first time. They don't have the algorithms put in, right? They have small seed algorithms put in, but from looking at the information, for example, the English language and the French language side by side, they work out by themselves what their algorithm is to create one from the other. They manipulate learning data to reveal cause-effect patterns. The goals are given to them, but the machines work out the best methods. And some companies understand exactly how revolutionary this is. For example, Google, the new CEO of Google, Sundar Pichai, a few weeks ago, he gave his quarterly update, and the single biggest message in his quarterly update is machine learning and artificial intelligence is so important for what Google's going to do. They are putting more and more investments into this area, not just narrow artificial intelligence, there's deep learning capabilities, a continued priority. And Facebook are doing the same, and Baidu in China are doing the same, and IBM and others are trying to. They realize the rapid transformation that might be just around the corner here. What they're getting is that AI is going to feed on a virtuous feedback cycle all of itself. Just as software has in the past improved software, we're now having AI tools which are allowing AI algorithms to be improved. And the same software is sooner or later going to be able to read the publications of AI human experts, and is going to be able to produce much better understanding by reading this information. It's also helping to design better hardware, and it's fueling its own financial progress because of all the services it can create. And the scariest thing of all might be is if the humans who are involved in this, guiding it, just get caught along by the excitement, get caught along by the software and say, yeah, let's keep on improving it, let's keep on improving it, and before they know it, there is this intelligence explosion, and we'll be into the third phase of artificial intelligence, not just when the goals are given and they work out the methods, but in which some of the software is working out its own goals. And I want to contrast two notions of exponential growth here. This is what Ray Kurzweil and other people talk about, you know. I've had these graphs in my slides already. It's a kind of a constant exponential growth in which things get better and better. We're not quite sure what the outcome is. What I'm talking about is something a bit different. Eliezer Yudkowsky and others talk about it, in which the technology doesn't necessarily improve exponentially. It comes in fits and starts. The underlying technology gets better, but the applications slow down. But then when it reaches a critical threshold, when it reaches a threshold of the general intelligence is as good as human level, then, oh my goodness, if we're not careful, there might be this hard takeoff, in which that's artificial superintelligence is very significantly better than human level. So we move beyond this first phase, narrow AI, to AI with deep learning, and then superhuman AI. Some people say, oh, don't worry, as AI gets better, we'll just merge with it. But as Jan Talon says, you know, if that fast improvement does happen, it's like saying to this train, you know, I'm going to jump on this train, but it's coming at you, it's the KTX bullet train, coming at, what is it, 380 kilometers an hour. You're not going to jump on that easily. You will be left behind. It's more like a nuclear bomb, and I'm not going to go through all of this, but I will say that the first calculations for the hydrogen bomb underestimated the true explosive potential, and I think we are at risk of underestimating what's going to happen when all these artificial intelligence components are drawn together. So last slide. Should we worry about artificial intelligence with its own drives and that final transformation? Despite me saying that it's difficult to predict the future, many people are saying, oh, don't worry, you know, if it's really super intelligent, it's going to be super moral as well. We don't need to worry about that. I don't think that's at all true. There are many clever, very, very smart people who have dubious morality. I won't mention politicians because I'm not quite sure who's watching this, but some very smart politicians are not the best moral people in the world. And if you look at corporations, which is a kind of super person pursuing its own goals, they don't always pursue true morals, which are exactly the same as human morals. So I'm worried about that. Other people say, don't worry, because we won't allow the AI to have its own goals, its own drives. We will keep charting it. We will specify the goals. and we will have agentless artificial general intelligence. And in that case, we don't need to worry. But I'm cautious about that too. This is where some of my worries come in. We're not exactly sure how drives will emerge and how goals will emerge as software becomes more intelligent. And even if we ourselves avoid our software having drives, other people may take that software and may say, I'm going to make software which is even better and cleverer than yours, and rewrite it, and it ends up that software has its own drives. And I'm worried also, from my knowledge of software, I'm worried about software having bugs, because my whole history, in my 25 years in the software industry, I've seen plenty of bugs. And there are three kinds of bugs. There's when the software behaves differently from the specification. You might think you have specified it to do a certain thing, but it actually goes wrong, and it ends up with drives and dangerous behavior. Secondly, it's when you get the software doing what you specified, but the specification itself didn't foresee all the circumstances properly. And many times I've written software, or my teams have written software, and it did exactly what we wanted it to do, we thought, but when we saw the environment and we saw the circumstances, we said, actually, we should have foreseen it differently, we should have written the spec differently. And third, you get software which is sometimes hacked. So we might write our software for one purpose, but viruses come along and subvert it, or third parties change it. And so all these reasons are reasons why I'm not confident that we can just eliminate the drive nature of AGI. And by the way, because this is such a competitive space, there's such a value to being the first company to produce this, there are likely to be companies cutting corners. Just as the smartphone industry often cut quality corners to bring out its software to be first to market, these companies might do the same. So, in summary, I think this is a possibility, and so therefore we must work on AI safety in parallel with work on the functionality. And possibilities remain very much open. The possibilities remain profoundly positive and also profoundly negative. But we have to discuss this a great deal more so that we get the very best social impact from this technology rather than regretting it. Thank you very much.